It's a name the president often invokes when talking about American heroes.
Harriet Tubman, Harriet Tubman, Harriet Tubman.
But the president has stopped short of memorializing her heroism by replacing Andrew Jackson on the front of one of our most widely circulated currency notes, the $20 bill.
I think it's pure political correctness. Andrew Jackson had a great history, and I think it's very rough when you take somebody off the bill.
First, speaking of history, President Andrew Jackson was a slaveholder and signed legislation removing Native Americans from their land. Nevertheless, Trump has long admired Jackson, visiting his home in Nashville.
I'm a fan. I'm a big fan.
And moving his portrait to the Oval Office, where he even hosted a group of Navajo veterans right in front of that painting.
You were here long before any of us were here.
Second, no one sought to remove Andrew Jackson from the bill entirely. A redesigned bill simply moves him to the back of the bill and features Harriet Tubman on the front. This decision came during the Obama administration, a decision that was also voted on by Americans, initiating a timeline to unveil the bill's redesign in 2020, coinciding with the 100th anniversary of women winning the right to vote. 4 years later, the plans for release have been pushed back a decade. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin telling reporters earlier this month this is something that is in the distant future, that the new bill wouldn't be released until 2030. So what accounts for the delay? Mnuchin claims it's security concerns.
This is a non-political situation where the primary objective of changing the currency is to stop counterfeiting.
But when pressed, Mnuchin couldn't explain why the imagery would still be delayed.
So yes or no, will you meet what was originally the 2020 redesign deadline?
We will meet the security feature redesign in 2020. The imagery feature will not be an issue that comes up until most likely 2026.
Protesters have accelerated the discussion, making clear which images they believe fully represent America's heritage and which do not. In Richmond, Virginia, the former capital of the Confederacy, Robert E. Lee's statue was covered with the projected image of Harriet Tubman.
But here at Lafayette Park, across from the White House, Andrew Jackson's remains protected. Protesters tried to topple it, but then these fences went up. The president now saying they're going to increase protection of these statues, saying we shouldn't erase our heritage. But whose heritage? And why shouldn't Harriet Tubman be included in it?
She is our most outstanding female patriot.
And symbolically, what does it say when there is a reluctance for now to even allow her to share the bill?
It is so sad, this idea that by even sharing a little bit of that historical real estate, that somehow the insecure folks will feel that their story is lost.
At a time when the nation is searching for its moral compass, the image of one woman guided by the North Star would speak volumes, and in a language all Americans understand. After all, money talks.
Question. The Trump administration, the Obama administration initially had wanted to put Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. The Trump administration dragged their feet on that. I wanted to see if the Biden administration has a sort of view of the timeline on whether or not she should be on the paper currency.
I was here when we announced that, and it was very exciting. It hasn't moved forward yet, which we would have been surprised to learn at the time. The Treasury Department is taking steps to resume efforts to put Harriet Tubman on the front of the new $20 notes. It's important that our notes, our money, if people don't know what a note is, reflect the history and diversity of our country, and Harriet Tubman's image gracing the new $20 note would certainly reflect that. So we're exploring ways to speed up that effort, but any specifics would, of course, come from the Department of Treasury.